Hello, everyone. I am Agni James, and we are going to be doing a peaceful, relaxing, guided meditation tonight. How's everyone doing out there? I hope everyone is doing well. I'm not going to be streaming any chess tonight. We're probably not going to do any chakra balancing. Probably no philosophy talks. Those of you who don't know me, I am a chess instructor in real life, and I like to do chess streams here and do chess lessons. I also have a master's in philosophy, so I do philosophy of mind, philosophy of science, and metaphysics streams. But primarily the focus of this channel is guided meditation, and that's what it always will be. I just think it's the best way I can help people. Sure, teaching chess and philosophy is awesome, and it can help people in many ways. But I feel like connecting with the source of creation, going within to that place of perfect love and peace within you, is a little more fruitful in what it can do. So how's everyone doing tonight? Let's see. We have JT Farmers, my channel shaman. My channel shaman is here. I wasn't expecting you to be here. You're always at work. You always work these days, and I haven't been able to always see you. So it's good that you're here. How are you doing today, JT? Are you on break, or did you not go to work yet? What's your status? And then we have the name that I cannot pronounce, Dolichophalis. I know I'm botching it, but I can never pronounce anyone's names. But how are you? Starting soon? Yeah, I know. I actually saw that. It made me chuckle a little bit when the starting soon screen was on. How are you doing tonight? How's everything going with you? I hope you're having a good night. I hope or day wherever you are in the world. I hope you're having a good existence. I mean, dude, fuck day. I hope you're having a good life, man. I hope you're enjoying your existence. Like, how's existence been? I mean, it's kind of weird being a human being, right? I've been thinking about that lately. It's weird, like, inhabiting this body and experiencing the human condition with all its sufferings and pleasures and pains and all those things. It's like, it's a weird experience. Let's see. You said that's not bad. You're still at work. You're still at work. Okay, well, welcome in. It's always good to have new people coming in to chat. I think I saw you over in Aristotle's chat, right? Are you into philosophy? Was that the deal? I forget where I run into people. I'm always like running into people in different people's streams and things like that. I don't remember if you're a philosopher or just have an interest in philosophy, or if there was something else. But it's cool to see you. Welcome in. And and JT say, taking a few days off. Okay, carpal tunnel has been acting up. You need to rest your hands. All right, yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that you had carpal tunnel. Sometimes you got to just take a few days off for self-care, right? Just rest your hands. Have Mark massage your hands if you can. That's going to be super helpful. Just have him just do like a gentle massage. The one I do every morning before I start my workout is I start with my thumb, and I go up, and then I go up my index finger, and then down my index finger, and then up my middle finger, and down, and then up my ring finger, and down, and then up the pinky finger, and down, and then I massage the wrist, just going all the way up to the shoulder. I do that on both sides. And that's just a great way to warm up your hands. Like if any of you out there are into working out, it's a great thing to do before your workouts. Because you need to get that blood flowing in your hands and wrists and arms, before you work out. If you don't, you could injure yourself, right? You want that blood flowing. You want plenty of oxygen flowing, to your muscles. And how is oxygen carried throughout the body? In blood. It's in hemoglobin, right? I think if I recall, each hemoglobin molecule can hold up to a maximum of 8 molecules of oxygen. I think each hemoglobin protein can hold 8 molecules of oxygen. If I recall, I don't remember. It's been a while. I have an undergraduate in I studied as an undergrad. I studied molecular bio in psychology, and then I went to grad school for philosophy. So I've kind of been all over, but it's been a while since I've done much molecular bio. Okay, let's see. Who else is here? Danny John, hello. Hi, Danny John. One of the reasons why I'm doing this stream right now actually is, and I hope I'm not sharing too much. If I am, stop me now. Danny John's father is not feeling well. He's currently in the hospital, so we are dedicating this stream to Danny John's father. We're going to send positive healing chi energy his way, and hopefully he will receive some of that energy, and hopefully it will help him help speed his recovery, and he'll be perfectly fine. It's always scary when someone you love is in the hospital, right? It's always a scary feeling. We wanna just send as many good vibes, prayers, good vibes, whatever we can, can muster, to Danny John's father, and hopefully he'll come through this and be all right. Let's see, where else we're at. Dolichophalis. Yeah, you said Eris likely. Yeah, right. Yeah, if you're hanging out in Aristotle streams, then I'm sure you've seen me around there, man. He's a great dude. In fact, let me give him a shout out. I want to give him the smooth shout out though. The smooth shout out. All right, so. All right. Yeah, anyone who has not checked out Aristotle, check him out. He's a friend of mine. He's a philosopher. See, I just have my master's in philosophy. He actually has his PhD in philosophy, and he's a philosophy professor. So, go check him out. Drop him a follow. He's a good dude. Really a smooth human being. I enjoy his company. I enjoy hanging out in his chat, discussing philosophy. He's a good human being. So, yeah. Let's see, JT, you say you have a numerology appointment in February to see how far it's progressed, whether you need surgery or not. Interesting. It's been bad. Ooh. That's rough. Oh, neurology. Yeah, I was gonna say numerology. I was like, isn't that more of like a holistic study of numbers or something like that? Neurology appointment. Man, carpal tunnel's no joke. Everyone that I know who's had carpal tunnel takes it very seriously. No one's like, oh, it's no big deal. It's just carpal tunnel. No, I mean, that's serious, especially in this age where we're constantly, using our fingers for, to type on the keyboard and do things like that, and to scroll on the mouse and to use the mouse, right? That can be problematic. I'm sorry. I would, if you were around right now, I'd give you a massage, a hand massage, and try to just kind of, take it easy. Maybe bathe your hands in warm water, or, that's like what I do. Like if I ever feel a piece of my body like that's kind of like stiff or tight, I try to just get it, heat on it. I feel like that helps, but I don't know how it is with carpal tunnel. Let's see. Dolichophalis, you say much more. You're much more of a STEM guy than a philosophy or social studies person. You work in analysis of medical device failures. That's a cool field. I've never met anyone who works in that field. Analysis of medical device failures. Dude, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I dig STEM too. I mean, as an undergrad, molecular bio and psych, right? I was all about STEM as an undergrad. And then I shifted gears. I was like, okay, I got the science thing. I have a good understanding of science. But then there was some family tragedy, and I had to kind of reevaluate my foundational beliefs. I had to, think about, where about how I perceived reality and all that, and I started pursuing truth. Initially I thought I could find all the truth that there was in the universe through science. That was my whole thing. I was science. I was molecular bio, I was physics, I was all that stuff. I just wanted to go all into that, right? And I thought that through math and mathematical principles and logic, and we'd be able to figure out everything in the world, right? And now I'm more open to the notion that there's other phenomenon out there that is only accessible through other means, through more like holistic means, like and other ways like philosophy, right? So that's kind of like where I'm at right now. I still have a tremendous amount of respect for STEM, and I use it on a daily basis. I mean, it's how this phenomenal world works, right? Our whole world of sensory experiences is based off of science, right? I mean, everything we're going to learn about the phenomenal world is scientific based. All right, let's see. JT, awesome. Yeah, send healing vibes Danny John's dad's way. Absolutely. And Dave, now you're saying you think she should do a numerology appointment too. Yeah, that would be cool. All right, so we got the shout out. We got the shout out for Aristotle. JT, you say you had diagnosed 12 years ago, but working again and has aggravated fast. Yeah, that's the thing. If you start doing something that's gonna aggravate it, especially if it's like a repetitive activity, right? You know that's carpal tunnel can just flare right up. It's one of those injuries, right? It's like tendonitis, right? I used to have tendonitis in my left arm. And for the longest time, like anytime I'd start like working out again, heavy and whatnot, it would just flare right up, and it was so annoying. Now it went away for some reason, but it took like a long time, and I have other pains and aches right now. That's just kind of how it goes, you'll go from one pain and ache to the next. Right now, like if I reach my right arm this way, I have like a lot of pain in this part of my arm, but I'm still pushing through it, and I'm still doing awesome in my workouts, so it's going okay. Hey, Get 'em Daddy's here. Hey, good to see you, friend. How you doing, man? I saw you last night. You say should you be drinking coconut? I think coconut milk is great. I think coconut milk is great, man. I think coconut milk is great. Almond milk is great. Soy milk. I'm not a big fan of soy. Almond milk is my preferred type of milk. I don't really go with the cow's milk much anymore. Just I kind of feel bloated when I drink cow's milk. But almond milk is one of the few foods where it's like I can just chug it, I could chug an entire gallon of almond milk and feel healthy and just feel strong and feel like ready to go and ready to do whatever I'm gonna do in life. So yeah, I don't know. I was drinking coconut water when I was doing Bikram yoga. That's like a super hydrating beverage, right? You got to stay hydrated. It depends how much you're working out too, right? If you're working out hard, you want to stay hydrated. And a lot of people are like, oh, I'm just going to drink water, and you can't do that. You need electrolytes. You can't just drink water, or you're going to run out of potassium and start cramping up and have to eat tons of bananas like me, and tons of kiwi fruit and all sorts of other high potassium foods. But that was more when I was doing Bikram yoga, and I would sweat a gallon or 2 gallons at a time. Okay, here we go. Let's see, JT, you say, first let's get to JT's. Coconut milk is a bit thick to drink, better for cooking. Coconut water is better for drinking. Yeah, I don't know the differences. I don't really know much about it. JT is going to be a resident expert. Okay, here we go. Redeem, suggest a poll. Who am I? And then this has kind of been a big question. This has been a big question. Let's do the poll. All right. Who is? Hold on a second. All right, poll. Now we got to put the question. And those of you who don't know what we're talking about here, this is. This Get 'em Daddy came into chat. I believe it was yesterday or maybe the day before, a couple days ago, and and I could tell that it was someone that I know, from chat, right? But just under a different name. I thought it was Chad Guy initially, So we'll put a few suggestions in here. These are regulars. These are regulars that come around, or that have come around in the past. How about we do? Okay. All right, we got 5. We'll do a 2-minute poll. Who is Get 'em Daddy 69? This is gonna be our current poll. Yeah, I personally think it's got to be Chad Guy. I think it's Chad Guy, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I've definitely been wrong before. You never know when someone changes their name. You just never know. So everyone vote. Cast your votes now, or forever hold your peace. And maybe I didn't even put the right person in there. There's so many people. It could be so many people. I just threw up I filled up all 5 slots with people that I know and who have been around in the past. It would be really cool. I will say this: it would be really cool if it was Sunrise Reeds, because Sunrise Reeds is not. I used to be a hardcore regular, and we used to do collabs. We used to talk all the time. It's definitely not JT. No way. JT. I know JT's schedule. I know. Wait, you can't see the poll? What do you mean you can't see the poll? How can you not see the poll, JT? You should be able to see it. It should be up there. I don't know. I don't know why you're not able to see it. It should be up in the chat window. Look in the chat window. Check it out. You should be able to see it. It should be like at the top of the chat window. I don't know if you're viewing it on your phone or if you're viewing it like on an iPad or how you're viewing it, but everyone should be able to see the poll. It's up there right now. Okay, so far we have 1 vote for Chad Guy, 1 vote for Aristotle, and 1 vote for Noger. All right, so we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. I think we got, 2 minutes, 1 minute left? No, we got like 30 seconds left. Everyone vote. We'll see. We'll see who it is. It's got to be on your end, JT, because other people are voting. Yeah. Let's see. Again, you say, I don't know, JT can be very interesting and half intense. JT is always interesting. Well, she's always interesting. I don't know. I have seen JT very intense before. I have seen her very intense. Okay, we have 1 vote for Chad Guy, 1 vote for Herbert Smithens, 1 vote for Aristotle, and 1 vote for Noger. Okay, so it's broken up evenly. It's broken up. It's an even distribution. I like that. 25% to 4. No one voted for Sunrise Reeds. I don't think most of the people here know who Sunrise Reeds was or is. Yeah. By the way, she was really cool. She lived in, where was it, Brazil, and she would do streams, and there'd be like monkeys crawling around in her backyard. It was crazy. She's like, oh yeah, these are the monkeys that like break into my house in the attic and like, shit all over the place. Okay, so who is it? Again, Daddy said, who knows? We all could just be Agni. Yeah, maybe you're all just manifestations of my mind, right? That would be the solipsist view, right? Those of you, does everyone know what solipsism is, right? Solipsism is the notion that that there's just one person that exists, and that every other person they meet is just like a projection of their mind, right? That they're the only thing that actually exists. Now, if you hold the view, if you hold the view of solipsism, you're not going to have many friends. Let me tell you, because you're gonna end up in jail because you're gonna think you can just go around killing people because they're just people in your head, right? They're just figments of your imagination. So it's not a good view to hold. It's really not a good view to hold. It's just a philosophical view it's not very coherent either, and also you tend to be a big asshole if you hold that view. So okay, are you going to reveal it? Here we go. Give us the big reveal, man. Who are you? We're all in suspense. And JT, you say we are all one. I mean, that's in line with what I believe. Yeah, drum roll. Or are you going to give us the reveal or not, dude? Are we going to know? This is intense. Building up the suspense. Yeah, it is Chad Guy. It was Chad Guy. All right. Yeah, I could feel that. I could feel it. Yeah. Oh yeah. What's up? So you coming in here all nonchalant now, Chad Guy? You're coming in here all nonchalant. You know exactly what's up. It's totally Chad Guy. It is totally Chad Guy. Wait, he's on multiple devices. The Get Him Daddy is got to be like one. Maybe his Tesla. Maybe he watches my stream on his Tesla device, and then Chad Guy, you're on a different device. Don't play tricks here, man. It was a little too coincidental that you popped in right at that moment, man. I know Get Him Daddy's got it. He's got to be Chad Guy. It's definitely got to be Chad Guy. All right. But anyways, yeah, like I said earlier, we are dedicating this meditation to, in a serious note, to Danny John's father. He's in the hospital, and we all wish him a very speedy recovery, and we hope he feels better. He's a great dude. He really is a great dude, and when it's rough when we have family members that are in the hospital, it's actually one of the toughest things to deal with, right? When family members are sick. I mean, that's no joke, right? Okay, Chad Guy redeemed hydrate. What can I do? I'm a slave to the chat. And by the way, good to see you, Chad. How are you doing, man? How's life? How's life going? How's everything going with you? I hope you're doing well. We're actually just about ready to start the meditation. I'm not gonna like be on here talking a ton. I always come out here. Oh, okay. Chad Guy's doing all the redemptions now. All right, hold on. I got to do the hats off redemption. Give me 1 second. Here we go. All right, here we go. Whoa, the candle. Whoa. All right. I gotta get new candles. All right, there we go. All right, here we go. Hats off. Hats off. We got the hat on. We got the hat on. Hats off, hats on, right? I don't know. I feel kind of Chicago style in this hat. Maybe like Roaring '20s, right? Just hanging out with this hat on, right? I don't know. It actually does not look bad right now. It's funny. Like I kind of thought it was a joke, but it actually like looks like like a hat you'd see someone wear on the street, right? Oh man. All right. Chad, you see you got a price on new kitchen cabinets. Dude, cool, man, cool. You're always doing. I like the fact that you're always doing like repairs, and you're always like doing not repairs, but like improvements on your home, right? You're building that new fence around your place, or you got that installed. You had that new setup. You're gonna put the wires behind the wall, right? You're always doing like new setups, man. That's cool. That's cool, dude. To do those improvements, 10 grand. 10 grand for new kitchen cabinets. I have no idea what kitchen cabinets go for these days. Like I have not even thought about replacing my kitchen cabinets. What kind of wood? I'm assuming they're wood, right? What kind of wood are they? Let's see. JT, you say your energy force knocked down the candle. Sign of things to come. Oh, hey, dopamine nihilist. Welcome in. Welcome to the channel. I'm wearing a hat because Chad Guy just did the channel redemption. My name is Agni James, and I primarily stream guided meditations on Twitch. I also have a master's in philosophy, so I do philosophy of mind, philosophy of science, and metaphysics streams. And I am a chess instructor, IRL, so I do chess streams as well. So today we're just going to do a guided meditation, and that probably will be it. We'll probably end it after that. But yeah, welcome in. Thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. Yeah, JT, I don't know if it was my energy that knocked down the candle. It might be. Maybe. My energy has been very high today. It's been very high. I finished off teaching a chess class. There were a bunch of students in it. I finished off the chess class, and all the kids had a really good time. And it was a lot of fun. I mean, it was a class too that it was supposed to be canceled. It was weird. Like it was supposed to be canceled. The whole session was supposed to be done. But I fought for them. They fought so they could have one more class, and I won out. And then they got to have a good time and we did the award ceremony. They got to play Bug House, which is team chess, which is cool. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. All right. So, Chad, you say stainless steel metal. Nice, dude. Dude, I think you have a similar style to me, Chad guy. I think you and I have like very similar styles in some ways, man. We like that minimalistic existence, and then we like that stainless steel type stuff, man. That's pretty cool, dude. Well, I'm glad that you're getting those new cabinets, and dude, when you get them installed, show me how they look. You got to post some pictures in the Discord. And by the way, let's here, everyone join my Discord. We do a lot of cool stuff in there. We talk philosophy. We just shoot the shit. We talk heavy metal. I'm big into metal. We also discuss yoga, meditation, all sorts of good stuff. So everyone join my Discord. It's gonna be fun. Let's see. All right. Yeah. I don't know. Get him, Daddy and Chad guy. Are you the same person? You're starting to make me question this, but I still think it's Chad guy. Get him, Dad. You say, Mr. James, are you a professional photographer? I am not actually, but I will say this: I used to be a model, and this is no joke. When I was younger, I was a child model actor, and I did that for a couple years from 3rd to 4th grade. I did that, and I had auditions all the time. It's rough though, because I would always have to drive to like the city right after work. It was always like, I'm right after school. It's like, I'm like in 3rd grade. I want to go hang out with my friends, but now instead I have to like have my mom drive me to the city and put on some ridiculous clothes and like do like photo shoots or an audition for parts and things like that. But yeah, I mean, I got a couple. There's one job in particular that I got. I was in. There was a textbook manufacturer named Houghton Mifflin or something like that. Houghton Mifflin. I don't remember what the hell the name was, but they make textbooks. I think they're still around. And I was in the 3rd grade social studies book for that year. There was a picture of me going like this, like with my arm up, like yeah, like really excited about social studies, right? I was writing like the first I think 3 page. I was in the third page, right? And then there was another picture of me like sitting in a chair, like looking real studious. I was looking real studious with my arms crossed. So I'm not a professional photographer, but yeah, you know, I did do modeling, and no, never done that route. Get him, Daddy. Never done that. Let's see. Okay, dopamine nihilist. You say you're not a nihilist, by the way, but your user is for aesthetic. Okay, cool. Yeah. Something interesting about nihilism that a lot of people don't realize is that nihilism is actually self-refuting. And a lot of people don't think this, because think about it. What is nihilism? It's like to believe in nothing, right? But to believe in nothing is to believe in something, right? So by believing in nihilism, you're believing in something, which leads to this paradoxical loop, right? So nihilism is actually self-refuting. Now, so you know, you could say like, well, I believe in nothing except for nihilism. Maybe that's kind of like there's a little wiggle room. You could work your way around it. But in its most pure form, nihilism is self-refuting. But yeah, I mean, it's I've noticed the people that I've met in my lives that are nihilists are usually not very happy. And in philosophy, we talk about utility. Like whether a philosophical position has utility, you know, how well it links with truth, you know, and the rest of our body of knowledge, right? Things like that. And most of the people that I know who have taken on nihilism at one point in their life, and you know, I was included. There was a period of time where I was a nihilist. I was miserable. I was unhappy, and you know, so like it doesn't have much utility. It's like if you want to be a human being, you want to live and maximize your human potential and feel good, right? You want to enjoy your experience here. So, yeah, I don't recommend nihilism, but you know, it seems like a natural progression, right? If you start questioning things and start, you know, questioning the fundamental nature of reality and things like that, you know, nihilism is definitely one path you can explore for a while. You check it out and you're like, hey, this kind of sucks, and then you start learning ways to come up with meaning, like the French existentialists. You know, they all the existentialists, they were like, hey, you know, we have this problem, this meaning issue, this meaning crisis, right? And then they said, well, what we're supposed to do is, you know, we're supposed to create our own meaning. There might not be, you know, capital T truth, objective meaning, right? But we create our own meaning. We create things that are meaningful for us, and that's what gives life purpose and makes life worth living, right? That's what they dealt with. All right. Anyways, Chega, you say, yeah, you love the modern industrial minimalist style. Same with me, man. I am so into that. That is exactly what I love. Like, if I had the money, my whole condo would be laid out like that. It would be perfect. It would be perfect. That just very minimalistic. I don't want a lot of clutter. I don't want a lot of things all over the place. I just want things, you know, very streamlined, modern. Stainless steel, like you were saying, just very. I just want things to be functional. I'm kind of like a functionalist in an artistic sense, right? I like functional things. I want things to be very functional and streamlined, you know. But yeah, that's it. JT, you say, is anyone else buffering? I don't know. Let's see. I'm barely dropping any frames. I've only dropped 169 frames. So I would say the problem is probably not on my end. You restarted. Okay, good. All right, maybe that's it. Maybe that was it. You're just having a connection issue. All right, let's see. Let's see. Get him, Daddy. You said, Mr. James, do you believe we are all going to die eventually, or is our spirits going to return to the planet? Interesting question. Okay, so I believe that our physical bodies obviously are going to die, right? You know, no one's physical body is going to just continue on in its form, right? Every single person you've ever met and will meet, you know, their body will eventually die, right? Now the question is, well, okay, what is our essence? And this question that you bring up, it can only be answered if you think about what is our fundamental essence, right? And you know, everyone has different views on that, right? Whatever religion you subscribe to, you're gonna have a different view. Whatever philosophy you subscribe to, you're gonna have a different view, right? But it all comes down to your fundamental view on the nature of identity. So when you say, or are our spirits going to return to the planet? I mean, some people believe that if you take let's see, that would kind of be like a materialistic stance, but with like a soul a soul aspect to it. It would be basically saying that our spirit is locked into this locked into matter, into physical matter, right? And that when you die, your spirit returns to the planet, and you still exist in a sense, but you're going to be you're going to be altered and radically different, right? And there's philosophical lines that give that position, right? And they're fine, they're perfectly fine. It's not personally what I believe. I believe that that this world and this whole realm is basically fiction, except for the people, right? So I have a very sparse ontology. And what I mean by that is I don't, like, as far as material objects and things in the world, like I don't believe things like chairs exist. I don't believe things like tables exist, like from the context of eternity, obviously, right? Because, from in the context of living in this world, obviously there's this thing called a chair that's right there, but we have just ascribed a bunch of properties to this thing that resembles a chair because it has utility, and that's kind of what brought it into existence. But besides that point, speaking just in a worldly level, yes, there's a chair that exists, right? But from the bigger picture, like from the context of eternity, where spatial temporal constructs don't even link with reality because there is no time. It's just one moment. I don't believe the chair exists, right? And I don't believe bodies exist either in that from that context, right? From that perspective, right? So I guess you could say what I do believe exists is the minds of the people, the essence of the people. Now I believe that the essence, my metaphysics holds that the foundational essence of every individual is pure love. And I'm going to slow down and say it again for added emphasis. My metaphysics holds that the foundational essence of every human being is pure love. Okay, I slowed it down for added emphasis. That's just like, something they say, works in existence, right? But anyways, so because I hold that the foundational essence of every person is love, then I hold that love is eternal and immutable, that it cannot immutable meaning that it can't change in any way, eternal meaning it's always there for eternity, right? Then we are going to continue on for eternity, right? Sure, the ego I that we use to differentiate, one person from another and say, this is a different mind than mine, right? This other person is a different mind, right? That part, whether that part goes away or not, that's open for debate, right? I personally believe eventually it probably will go away and we'll just kind of reunite as one mind in a state of perfect love and oneness. But that's just my belief. That's just my metaphysics. Everyone has their own metaphysics. All right. Anyways, I hope I answered your question well. Let's see. Where are we at in chat? Okay. Dopamine. Niles, you say you like concrete floors and wall apartment studio. Yeah, right? It's just, there's something nice, something beautiful about simplicity, right? Some people have tons and tons of shit around their place. It's like, dude, it's like, if you have to step over things, here's where I draw the line. If you have to step over things when you're just walking through your place, that's not a fun existence. You don't want to be walking around your place like you're living in a minefield. I mean, how can you feel peaceful and comfortable in that kind of existence, right? I wouldn't want to live on that. Get him, Daddy. You're asking JT Farms if she's on Wendy's Wi-Fi. That's pretty funny. A little Starbucks all the way. Yeah, that's good. Let's see. Dopamine Nihilist, you say, what are your thoughts on Advaita Vedanta, non-duality philosophy? Well, I'm very much into non-duality. That's one of my big things. I'm all about monism. I'm a monist. I believe that all is one, but I don't have the material aspect included in my metaphysics, right? So there's many different lines. Okay, in philosophy we talk about different. Philosophy is like chess, right? There's different lines. There's different variations you can hold. It's like I hold belief X, right? And then there's another guy who's I hold belief X. But I also hold belief Y, right? And then there's another guy who's I hold belief X, Y, and Z. And whatever beliefs you hold, basically determine which lines of reasoning you're gonna go with, and what is going to exist in your philosophy and what's not going to exist in your philosophy, right? So monism is one of those lines, right? So I'm a monist, right? I believe that all is one. But then the question is, well, okay, well, what do you mean by all? Okay, well, I don't hold that matter exists. I don't hold that time exists, and I don't hold that space exists. I believe those are false concepts that we're perceiving while we believe that we're in a spatial-temporal realm. But in reality, this is just a dream, except for the minds of the people in this world. Like I said earlier, that's my sparse ontology. I do believe in the minds of the people. So, and that it has a lot of utility, because then I want to treat others with as much love and compassion and kindness as I possibly can, because I believe that they are actually me, that they're part of me, and I'm part of them. We're all part of the same oneness, but we're perceiving ourselves currently in this spatial temporal context as separate beings, as separate parts of the whole, right? So that's my version of monism. Now, like Spinoza was a philosopher, was one of my favorite philosophers. He actually, I believe, he introduced me to monism, to the concept, like many years ago. And he was a different kind of monist. He believed that matter actually was also incorporated into that oneness. So like things, spatial temporal constructs, things like cars and chairs and tables and the earth, right, and planets and suns, right, and the sun, right, and all those things, right. He believed that all of those things were part of this oneness, right. And I think, and that kind of goes along with what was brought up earlier, right. That we all go, does our spirit go back into the earth and is part of that oneness, right. So there's different lines you can take with monism. My personal line, what I personally believe, my metaphysics, nothing material exists. Now from the context of eternity, obviously you live in the real world. You have to, you're going to live as. But here's the other important thing. Now, sure, I don't believe it exists, but I believe you have to live as if it exists. And I'll repeat it again slowly for added emphasis. Sure, I don't believe that matter exists, but I believe you have to live as if it exists. And the reason being is because as long as you're perceiving yourself in this reality, right, you're going to get hurt when if you walk in front of a car, right, you could die, right, your physical body could die, or if you bump into a table, right, you have to live as if it exists, and that has a tremendous amount of utility. You basically buy into the tenets of science, right? And you don't scrutinize it too hard, right? Like you don't start going all scientific anti-realist in your worldly interactions, right? Even though there are some very strong arguments against scientific realism, namely a pessimistic meta-induction. It's super, super strong argument against scientific realism. But anyways, besides that point, you live as if everything exists, but just kind of know in the back of your mind that this is it just doesn't exist. From the context of eternity, all spatial temporal constructs don't exist. But every person you meet in your life is basically you. So you just want to be as loving and kind and compassionate to them as possible. So that's what I believe. All right. Anyways, so that's my thoughts on non-duality philosophy, otherwise known as monism. You believe oil is the reincarnation of dead spirits. Interesting. Oil. Huh. That's kind of an interesting take. What kind of oil? Are you talking about like oil from coal, like that kind of oil? Or are you talking about like does oil even come from coal? Like I think I'm completely. I thought it came from like dinosaur bones breaking down or something. I'm completely ignorant. I don't even know where the fuck oil comes. Does it come from like organisms breaking down like over time? Yeah, crude oil. Okay, all right. Well, I know some shit then, I guess. And let's see. And again, Daddy, you say and humans are exploiting the dead by pumping out the oil from the Earth's life stream. Now that's an interesting take. I've never heard of that take before, but I mean, I could see it. It's definitely a viable position. You could hold that, right? You just got to work out all the details. I'm sure there's plenty of opposites, and that's the cool thing about philosophy. You can pose like any, if you hold any given set of premises, you can, as long as the logic from let's say you hold these given set of premises, as long as the inferences from each premise all make sense, you can have a valid argument for your whatever position you hold. Now, in philosophy, we talk about the soundness of arguments, right? Because if your premises are false, then it doesn't matter if each inference is fine. If each inference logically flows, from that premise, from that original premise, your conclusion is going to be false, right? That's what soundness is. So that would be an unsound argument in that case. But if your premises are true and your inferences all flow logically, so thus being a valid argument, then by definition, by necessity, your conclusion has to be true. So that's what a deductive argument is, and that's what philosophers, analytic philosophers especially, are very concerned with. That's what I'm very concerned with when I do philosophy. All right. Anyways, let's move on. Chad guy, you say could be love and ego. Could be love and ego. You mean could love be? Wait, could be love and ego? I believe those are like the two polar extremes, right? To a certain extent. Okay, so let me clarify that a little bit. I don't believe that love and ego are polar extremes. I believe that all that actually exists is love. I believe the ego is just something that we perceive while in a spatio-temporal context, which it's like a dream, right? It's the same thing as like when you wake up from a dream. You get up, you wake up from a dream, and what do? You hit the alarm clock. You don't like sit around thinking about your dream all day and thinking like, wait a minute, did I just wake up from a dream, or was my dream reality? And now I'm dreaming, right? You don't think that, right? I believe we're gonna wake up from this dream one day. I believe one day we're just gonna be like, hey, whoa, that was a crazy dream we just had. We were in these bodies, and we were like walking around on a planet, and we were on this thing called the Earth, and it was very strange. And we were like driving cars, and people were in spaceships and things like that. What a weird dream, right? But that's just my metaphysics, right? Everyone has their own metaphysics. I'm just using that as an example, right? All right, let's move on. All right. JT, you say to Chad, do you get mixed up when chatting as Chad and Get 'em at the same time? He's a good multitasker. And Chad guy says he's eating ice cream. Here's a funny thing. What if, JT, what if we're wrong and they're actually not the same person, right? How weird would that be? Like, forget him, Daddy? Like, it would be a weird situation. I mean, I'm like 95% certain that they're the same person. But what if we're wrong? Then forget him, Daddy. He's like, dude, like, why? What's going on here? What's going on here? Why are you calling me this other guy? Okay. Dolich Ophalis, you say, and then you have a nihilist that says, my belief is that I have no beliefs. Yeah, right, exactly. It's completely self-refuting, right? Your belief is that you have no beliefs, but by having no beliefs, or by believing that you have no beliefs, you have a belief, obviously, right? So it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's completely self-refuting. So, but there are some lines of nihilism that work. You just got to take a weaker form of nihilism. You can't take the strong form of nihilism, or else it's just going to immediately refute itself. Okay, Chad guy, you say with popcorn and melted M&Ms, it's an intense night. Dude, popcorn and melted M&Ms, that's what you're eating? Dude, I thought you were like eating healthy food. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? You said you were gonna like on some awesome diet where you were like getting jacked and like eating nothing but like healthy food. Like dude, popcorn and melted M&Ms, dude. You can't do that, man. What are you doing? You're relapsing in this shit, dude. All right. And by the way, that's not going to make your body feel good tomorrow. You got arthritis, man. That's going to be terrible for inflammation. All right, JT, you say that's a lot of tasks: eating, typing, and thinking. You rock. Chad guy's a good multitasker. And let me give something cool that he does. He's the owner of his own construction company, man. This guy's a smooth dude. He's a smooth guy. He's good at multitasking, and he does a lot. All right, let's see. Get him, Daddy. You say, have you ever heard of the Hungarian chess player Paul Charles Dasa? He was famous for dine ditching restaurants. No, I have never heard of that Hungarian chess player. But yeah, I mean, dude, people used to do that back in the day. Do people still do that? Do people still eat out at restaurants and then just run out? I don't know if that's still a thing. But like, I had some friends that did it back in the day. I always thought it was like really low, because then like the waitress gets like gets hit with the bill a lot of times, which is terrible, because the waiters and staff aren't typically making a lot of money anyway. So but yeah, I don't know if people still do that. All right, let's see. Dalit, you say coal tar distillates are a type of oil. Okay, all right, cool. Cool. All right. So I was at least kind of on with that. All right. Nice. Okay. So I always come out real intense, and we do some talking, and then we slow things down, and we come to the place of peace and oneness within our hearts. So find a comfortable seated position. You can sit on the floor in lotus pose. You can sit cross-legged. Or you can sit in a chair. The main thing is to find a position that is comfortable for you. And then gently close your eyes and take a few slow, deep breaths on your own while maintaining good posture. I have an Amitabha Buddhist chant that I play that has a chime that rings every 2 seconds. And you can use it to help regulate your breath count. So take a few more slow and deep breaths on your own while maintaining good posture. We're sending the love of this meditation to Danny John's father, who is currently in the hospital, such that he may have a speedy recovery and feel better once again. Inhale through your nose, gently raising your belly. Exhale through your mouth, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in through your nose, slowly raising your abdomen. Breathe out through your mouth, slowly lowering your abdomen. Stay focused on your breath count. Inhale, raising your belly. Exhale, lowering your belly. Breathe in, raising your abdomen. Breathe out, lowering your abdomen. Direct your attention on your breath count. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Your breath calms your body, and your body calms your mind. Be mindful of your breath count. Visualize yourself sitting on the tallest mountain peak. Watching the clouds float through the sky beneath you. Two clouds move together and merge into one. And one cloud stretches apart, dividing into two. These clouds move through the sky before disappearing over the horizon. These clouds are like your thoughts. Thoughts come into being, exist for a while in conscious awareness, before disappearing from your mind. That is the nature of human thought. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all that is of no benefit to you. Keep your awareness on your breath count. When thoughts arise in your mind, picture them as clouds floating through the sky before disappearing over the horizon, and return your awareness to your breath count. Your essence is love. Your love is manifested as light. Your purpose is to shine your light on others. Awakening the inner light within them. And they will shine their light on all whom they encounter. Until all of humanity is reunited in oneness once again. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that is of no benefit to you. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego which obscures your third eyesight. Keep your awareness focused on your breath. When thoughts arise in your mind, picture them as clouds floating through the sky before disappearing from your mind. And direct your attention back to your breath. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego which hinders your evolution. Keep your attention on your breath count. On your next breath, travel down beneath the level of conscious awareness. Go to the region of your heart chakra. Feel the love emanating from this location. And the warmth which surrounds your love. Give yourself permission to experience the perfect peace residing here. And the joy which accompanies it. In this place, your divinity becomes apparent. In this location, you are home. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego which blocks your third eye vision. Focus on your breath. When thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds floating through the sky before disappearing from your mind. And return your awareness to your breath count. On your next breath, travel down beneath the level of consciousness. All the way down to your center point. The place where your essence is the strongest. Your essence being love. In this place, only monism remains. Therefore, opposites cannot enter. Boundaries and separations cannot exist here. Nor can fear and worry. For this place is filled with perfect love. That perfect love flowing eternally from the source of creation. And you are blessed. Because you are that perfect love. Focus on your center point. And when you're ready, travel through. I'll see you on the other side. Here, at your center point, you recall your true identity. At your center, you remember how you came to be. Here, at your center point, you recall your divine purpose. To spread love and light to all of those whom you encounter. Experience the perfect peace that exists here. Give yourself permission to feel the joy which accompanies it. For in this place, we are forever together as one. In this place, we are home. Identifying as love, we flow eternally from the source of love. Awakening the memory of love which exists in all minds. Seeing no differences or separation between you and your brothers and sisters. For we are finally back together as one. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that is of no benefit to you. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego which obscures your vision. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all stress and tension from your body. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all stress and tension from your mind. Inhale, making it the deepest breath of the day. Exhale, releasing all fear and worry from your mind. Gently open your eyes and return to this world, bringing with you the peace and love from this meditation throughout the remainder of your days. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing this sacred space with me and sending love and light to Danny John's father. I am truly honored and humbled to be here with you as your meditation guide. I hope you all feel more peaceful and relaxed, more grounded and centered, and more joyful and loving than you did prior to the meditation. And I hope you're able to carry with you this love to your brothers and sisters in the world. Namaste. All right. How was that for everyone? That was really much needed for me. That was a 36-minute meditation, like clockwork. All of my meditations lately have been between 35 and 37 minutes. They just naturally go that long. And it's a good amount of time to meditate. You can really go deep in that amount of time. So thank you all so much for being here with me and sharing that love and that joy. All right, JT, excellent. You said that was so good. Namaste. Yeah, that did feel good. That felt really good. I feel so much more peaceful and relaxed. I was pretty high strung prior to the meditation. Now I feel chill. I got that zen energy flowing through me, right? Wow. I definitely feel more love and light in my life. So thank you. Thank you so much for sharing this space with me. And that's a cool emote. Dalachophalis. I like that emote. Actual Jake prayer. Wow, that's beautiful. Cool. Beautiful, man. I hope you're well. Oh, I shouldn't just assume you're a man, by the way. That's a problem I have on Twitch. A lot of times I just for some reason assume that people are men, unless their name has like a female sounding name. I'm working on it. What can I say? Yeah, what pronoun do you prefer, by the way? I gotta work on that. Oh, get him, Daddy. Okay, you say, hey, Agni, you don't think I've ever told you the story of how you got into meditation? Oh, cool. All right. I have said it, but not in a while. So you probably it was probably before you were coming to these streams. So my mother actually reminded me of something just the other day that I didn't even remember. It was crazy, but she actually brought this up. So I had forgotten all about this, but when I was like a real little kid, like maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old, I used to have a really hard time falling asleep. My mind would just be racing with thoughts, and it took me forever to fall asleep. And so she told me, she would come in at night, and she told me, hey, try to think of just blank gray, the color gray. Just think of gray and nothing else. And I tried that, and that was actually my first experience with meditation. It didn't work well at the time. I wasn't able to think of gray, and I still, to this day, I can't think of gray. It's weird. Like I can think of nothing, right? I can clear my mind and think of no thoughts, but I can't think of gray for some reason. It's like this weird block. But so that was actually my first experience. I don't really consider that a legitimate experience, but it was an attempt. That was my first attempt. But then later on, I was about, let's see, how old was I? Maybe, I don't know. I always forget how old I was, like maybe 10 years old or 11, something like that, maybe 12. I was at my friend Brian's place. My friend, and his mother was from India. His dad was from America. So his mother had this religion, and I don't know, it's like some sect of Hinduism. Hey, Vito9109, thank you so much for the follow. Much appreciated. I appreciate you. I'm just, my name's Agni James. I'm just telling the story of how I got into meditation right now. And so they used to have a prayer room set up in their home. And they had pictures of all the gurus in their lineage, in their sect of Hinduism on the wall. And, I used to go, I went in that room once and just sat down, and I just sat there cross-legged, like you'd see someone, in the movies, right? See someone in the movies, like sitting there cross-legged, with their hands like this, right? Their fingers like this. I was just sitting there cross-legged. And all of a sudden I closed my eyes and I just took some deep breaths, like I would see in the movies, right? And then all of a sudden I started feeling this great wealth of love and peace, like bubbling up inside of me. And it was something I had never experienced before. And I was like, whoa, what is this? What is this sensation? And it shocked me. I opened my eyes and I was like, whoa, like, am I okay? Like, am I dying? What's going on here? It felt really weird, right? If you've never felt that, and then all of a sudden you feel it. And then I closed my eyes again and I started feeling that. And it was just this amazing, intense sense of love and compassion and kindness that I was feeling. And so every time I would go over there then to my buddy's place, I would ask him, hey, can I go up in your meditation room for a bit and hang out? And he would look at me weird, because he didn't even buy into that religion. He was Catholic. He was raised Catholic. His mom was that religion. His dad was Irish Catholic. So, but yeah, I would go into that room and I would just sit there and I would meditate. And that was my first experience with meditation. That's how I actually got into it. But good question. Let's see. Okay. Dallas Chofalis, you say, he, him. Okay. With Valis in my name, it does come off very masculine. It's a reasonable. Yeah. And that's kind of what I figured, right? That's kind of what I figured. It does sound masculine, with phallus being in there, but you just never know, right? You never know. It's like, and people are really sensitive to these days. So I just want to make sure I'm not insulting anyone or whatever. It's because I'm not seeing their face, right? And I don't know who they identify as, but yeah, it is pretty much a reasonable assumption. Let's see, Vito, you say, hello, my friend. You suggest DMT, dimethyltryptamine. I extract your own. You did it 6 times. Cool. Do you do the bark? Do you do it from bark? I had a good buddy who used to do the bark extraction. He would. I forget the name of the type of bark, but he would order. There's a certain type of of tree bark that you can order, and then you do the extraction from that. And I think it involved getting frozen and using some kind of what did it involve? It was like a multi-step process. I never watched him do it, but he did it. He used to make it from there. A Mimosa hostilis. Okay, cool. Yeah, absolutely. That's so he's doing the same thing. He was doing the same thing that you're doing then, that extraction from that bark. Back in the day, here's a cool story. So dimethyltryptamine didn't used to be illegal. It used to be in the gray area. And I was a molecular bio major, and I was working for the chemistry department at the school I went to. So I was actually literally able to order dimethyltryptamine to my home. It was amazing. I was like, yeah, I'm so, because I was ordering other research chemicals, and then I would just order dimethyltryptamine but send it to a different address. It was awesome. So I was able to order dimethyltryptamine, and I had some very intense experiences on that. This was back in the day, and it was they say it's the strongest hallucinogen known to man. And yeah, it definitely puts you in a different mindset. I've tried that, and I've tried 5-MeO DMT as well. It's interesting how there's a very different feeling between those two, between 5-MeO and then straight up DMT. But yeah, and then I had some other friends that made it, and it was a very it was not as pure of an extraction, and they were having weird sensations on it. One of my friends definitely said it transported him to a different like some alien realm. He said that was his big thing. Let's see. Vito, you say you activated your DMT through your pineal gland. Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, well, DMT is actually, yeah, it's in the pineal gland. Yeah, you activated. Yeah, it's in your pineal gland, and you know, it's not released though until you die. Typically, that's typically the thing. When you die, your body just kind of, all your glands just kind of release whatever chemicals are in them, right? And the pineal gland is one of them, and there's dimethyltryptamine, and there's some other chemicals as well. In your pineal gland, and it's released when you die. But yeah, when you take it regular, just in life, I mean, I just suggest if you're gonna take it, be careful. Make sure you do the research. I own a book called DMT: The Spirit Molecule, and I read that book, prior to doing it, and it gave me some good insight into it before I actually, took that journey. I haven't done it in a long time. I feel like there's really no need to do it anymore. I got the experience. I know what it's like now. I did it a bunch of times. Let's see, Vito, you say it is the most crazy experience you ever had. You literally go into space and meet entities. Yeah, my friend. I mean, he actually passed away, but that's what he said. He said he met like these alien beings when he did it. I never had that experience, and I did it, I did it quite a few times. I never had the alien being experience, but a lot of people have. My experiences were more of just like being like just in pure oneness, just being such in a state of pure oneness and pure love and pure bliss, that the whole world just was gone. It was just nothing but love and light, and like it was everywhere. And I was just so happy and so content, and I felt good on every level. That was the experience I had. I never really saw like many forms and figures. That's like that. I saw more forms and figures when I would do like the other types of stuff, right? Let's see. Dolichocephalus, you say, is the scientific Latin name for a banana. Scientific Latin name for a banana slug, which are hermaphrodites. So it really is more of a they-them vibe. Oh, so that's the derivation of it. Okay, all right, banana slug. Nice, interesting. Banana slug. All right. Well, I should have asked you what it means. I'm just so used to people just putting like random, words together and doing random stuff that doesn't have a meaning. I didn't know that was actually a thing. That was actually the Latin name for banana slug. With my biology background, you would think I should have like inquired into that. But yeah, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool though. Vito, you say you missed the 5-MeO. You even grow your own mushrooms. Yeah, that's a cool thing. Growing and it's not that hard nowadays too. A lot of people grow their own mushrooms. In some states, it's even legal. That's pretty wild, right? I think like Oregon and Washington State, it's legal to grow your own mushrooms, which is cool. I mean, I remember the main thing. I had friends that would do that back in the day. The main thing was just keeping the humidity right, the humidity at the right range, right? You can't let it get too humid or not humid enough, right? That was like the main component. Temperature obviously, but also humidity. And then you can get like mold and stuff that will creep in if you're not careful. But yeah, it's pretty easy. They have like all sorts of mushroom growing kits now and stuff like that. Yeah. By the way, those of you out there who are interested in trying some kind of psychedelic, I would always recommend that you study the fuck out of it, right? You make sure you know what you're getting into. You try a low dose, and I would recommend mushrooms if you're definitely going to do something. I would say that's a good introduction into it. Some people are like, no, just take a bunch of hits of acid. I don't think that's a good idea. I think if you took like a real low dose of mushrooms, that would be like a good gateway into the world of psychedelics. Don't start with like a hit of DMT or something like that. That would not be a good move. Probably you'd probably freak out, right? Vito, you said, oh, you read that book and all the experiments that they did. Yeah, you read that book. Okay, cool. We both read the same book. Yeah, it's a good book. It was a good book. At least I remember it being back then. I haven't read it in, geez, it's been so long. But that was like the first book that they wrote. At least they wrote it about it in the mainstream, from my understanding. That was like a mainstream book about dimethyltryptamine. Get him, Daddy. You say you're acting You're asking a Dolichal phallus, so you identify as a Hindu god? Oh, oh, banana slug. Why is one of the Hindu gods a banana slug? I don't know. I don't know what that is. And get him, daddy. You said you used to microdose, and I was yeah, right. Microdosing. That's like a very common thing now that people do. I think they use it to treat depression, if I'm not mistaken, right? I have a friend that microdoses, and he says it's helped him with depression. So it's something you can do, but just if you're gonna try something, just be super careful. That's like all I can say. I know a lot of people that have had really bad experiences because they weren't careful. They here's one of the craziest experiences. One of my friends took LSD for his first time when he was 13, and like about half an hour later, him and his two friends who he was with got arrested, and he went to jail. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine going to jail, being in a prison cell at age 13? Your first time you tried acid? Like, talk about a horrible experience, like that was crazy, man. Like I still feel for him to this day. I think that's like one of the worst stories. That's one of the worst stories I've ever heard of a bad drug experience, right? I mean, just doing that, I mean, geez. Like, so, and I would never recommend like a 13-year-old, take acid either. I think that's way too young. Your brain is still developing at that point. Wait till you're older. You have plenty of time to try and experiment with substances. Just wait till you're older. 13 is way too young. Let's see, what else is going on. Yeah, okay, well. I think that's going to about wrap it up. I've been streaming for an hour and 42 minutes, which is a good amount of time. We had a lot of cool discussion today. I appreciate you all. Thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you all so much for sharing this space with me. I appreciate you all, and I love you all unconditionally. It's kind of, you might think, whoa, this is weird. This dude's like saying he loves me, but I love you unconditionally. I love every human being on this planet because I believe that I'm the same as them. That we're all we all have love at our core, and that's the part I'm talking about. I love that essence of them, that part of them, because I believe that is their foundational essence. Vito, you said you will suggest to read The Cosmic Snake. It explains how South American cultures gain their knowledge through these plants. Literally, they learn how to sew clothes through the visions. Interesting. The Cosmic Snake. Let me write this down. Cosmic Snake. Okay, yeah. I have like a list of like, it's like ridiculous. It's ballooned up to like over 500 things to either read or watch on TV, like TV shows or movies or music to listen to. I have like I get so many recommendations on here streaming. People are always like, hey, you should check out this book. You should check out this philosophical article. You should check out this scientific article. You should check out this band. Because I'm big into heavy metal, right? And people are always recommending bands. So like I'm like totally backlogged, but it's on the list. So hopefully one day I will get to it. Okay, let's see. And get him, daddy. You say wait till you're old enough to be changed charged as an adult. Yeah, right. It's kind of funny. Dalitophalus, you say, oh yes, Ardhan Shavara, the hermaphrodite Hindu god. Fear me. I like that. It's cool that you know about the Hindu gods. I mean, I only know about I know the basics. I know Shiva, Vishnu, Agni, all those guys, right? I don't know like there's like what 1 million gods though in Hindu mythology. Agni. My name is one of the, except it's pronounced Agni in Hindu mythology. I pronounce it Agni. But yeah, that's one of the Hindu gods. It's also the king of the fire gods, empowered by Taki. It's in Eastern culture, in Buddhism as well. It's mentioned. Let's see. Get him, daddy. You say not 13, common man. Yeah, I don't know. JT's super nice. Yeah, telling Danny John, hope her dad feels well soon. So do I. I really hope that we helped. I hope we sent some good love and energy. And get him, daddy too. You say, Danny, may your dad feel well soon. Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Thank you, because she's a really good person, and it's just rough when one of your family members is sick and is in the hospital, right? It's just such a tough time. I love you all so much. Let's see who's out there to raid. We are gonna check out the world right now. We're gonna spread love and light. Okay. Oh, this is a no-brainer. I haven't raided this guy in a while, and he's a good dude. He is a real good dude. So we're gonna give a big raid out to my buddy, the one and only Imbalanced Physique. I believe he's doing some tarot readings and some cool stuff right now. I like him because he's really authentic and genuine. He doesn't put on a front. He just simply says, he talks just like how he normally would talk in public. You know, he's not trying to be something that he's not. So if you have a subscription, copy and paste this raid call. If not, we're gonna send him some love. So let's do this. Yeah, he's doing tarot right now. Cool. All right. Thank you all so much again. I love you all unconditionally. I appreciate you all, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Just remember, in life, life is hard. Just be kind and courteous and caring to the people around you. Namaste.